Well, alrighty, today is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023, and it's about 11-ish in the morning. Anyway, we are behind 1014 Tennessee. A new friend, Matt, joined me over on a dig catty corner from here last year, and is interested in seeing if I can find the Privies back here. This house shows up on the 1876 map, and even more interesting, it's been in Matt's family for generations, so we would actually be digging family heirlooms in the Privy. How cool is that, right? You know, some people collect jars of beach sand from around the world, you know. I don't think anybody started collecting night soil from Privies yet, but this may be a beginning. This is great-grandpa's poop. Yeah, I digress, while someone else digests. Okay, enough for the jokes. I have mapped out, or marked out, where the heck is it? Oh, that flag, or this flag. Pink guy right there. Oink, oink. Oinky the worm is not convinced, because the other end of this feature on the Sanborn map is 8 of my steps away, way over here, which is way too big for a home-sized privy, maybe a hotel or a saloon, but boy, that's quite a distance from here to there. However, there was a feature on the map that if it were half that size, I'd say it's a privy. Might be a wash house, combo, privy, who knows, but that's where I'm starting, and we'll go from there. I'll let you know what happens, if anything. Well, alrighty, only 15 minutes. And I probed out something that felt better than anything after 3 hours of probing the other day, right here. My 4-footer sunk down and felt a little crunchy, and got my 5-footer in there, and it felt every bit as good down to 5 feet. So, well, at least from about the 3.5 to 5 feet point. So we're going to open it up, give it hell, see what's going on here. Crossing my fingers, it's kind of in a borderline gray area for a privy around these parts. Usually they're closer to the alley, but you never know until you open it up. That's the secret. Can't just go probing. You actually gotta sling dirt, and that's what the old dirt slinger does best. Fastest shovel in the Midwest. Yep. Well, exactly 1 hour after starting this little exploratory hole, I've come across a smattering of stuff you expect to see in a cap. The only bottle is this machine-made Yacht Club salad dressing. The Owens ring, and some pottery shards, dishes. This thing looks, I don't know, I couldn't find a seam. Looked old. Wasn't sure. This looked like a ball jar. At least we got a butcher cut bone, a couple of them. No privy juice yet, but right before I took this little break, where the hell is it? This bad boy shows up. I looked at that base and I went, are you kidding me? A hinge mold paneled cylinder with embossing. McMunn's opium. Right in the middle of all this 1920s crap up in the cap. I guess if it's a cap, I'm not even sure it's a privy yet. Haven't hit any walls, which is not unusual for a wood liner in this town. But Boy, that's one that's eluded me forever. McMunn's blah blah of opium. See, I can't even remember what it is because I've never dug one, ponnelled or otherwise. And I see people back east coming across stacks of them, ponnelled and otherwise. But anyway, hey, you know, and I love to see the word opium. Where you find one, you might find a dozen. Yeah. Well, shoot, I was only about a foot deep trying to widen out this hole when I came across this guy up in the top, and I'm thinking that's got to be machine made. Roughly pulled it out, got a long neck on it. I thought it was a plain extract, a slick. Turns out it's something I never heard of from St. Louis. A shepherd baker. God, without my glasses, I'm having trouble reading that. Something Shepherd Baker Powder Company is what it looks like. St. Louis, Mo. Powder Company. I would have expected an extract out of that, but how would you even get powder in it? Forget about getting the powder out of it. I don't know. You know, unless it was nitroglycerin or something. Yeah. Well, I'm getting concerned. After taking a half-hour break, about another 15 minutes of digging, and I've done my world-famous whack-a-hole. Yeah, down in this corner. Down. Trying to do my imitation of a post-hole dig, and I'm still in an ashy coal clinker fill layer, and that's about 6 feet down. It's a lot of digging for what may only be a foot or two. Most of these holes in this town don't go below 8 feet, so I'm getting discouraged. I'm just getting an occasional chunk of metal conglomerate, and that's about it. Not even any dishware or anything down here. So anyway, I'll keep plugging on and hoping for the best. That's all I can do. Alrighty, today is Saturday, April 8th, 2023, behind Matt's house on the corner of North 11th and Tennessee. Once again. And I'm going to do what I rarely ever do. I'm going to revisit this hole because I have the sneaking feeling that I quit too soon on it before. Something I rarely do, and when I do, I discover that I quit for the right reason. Because there was nothing left, or there was nothing there. Hopefully I will prove myself wrong and discover indeed there was something left. But I won't discover anything just sitting here on the rock pile. I feel like I'm in an old-fashioned penitentiary with the rock pile here. Yeah, I better get to slinging dirt before they get me cracking at rocks. Yep. That's the plan. Wish me luck. Well, alrighty, after about 2 hours of digging, I'm down to about where I was before after 3 hours of digging, so apparently I'm improving. Not really. This should have taken me an hour and a half to get down here, but it collapsed on me a couple of times. Aside from that, though, you know, there were no surprises other than the fact that the walls are not aligned with the house. It's kind of weird. Almost every privy I've ever dug seems to be squared up with either the barn or the house or some building nearby. This one the walls are, let's see, the wall is going that way, and as I pan up, there's the house and the wall's going this way. And yet the privy wall's going that away. You know, that's an odd thing. And near as I can tell, it is a privy, but it's a old wood liner where the wood's long gone. So we'll know more as we get to the bottom. But I'm about ready for a lunch break, and then come back and try to see if I can't manage to hit bottom, and hopefully bottles at bottom. But at this point, my main goal is to hit bottom. I don't care if there's nothing but bricks and rocks down there. I'm going to hit the damn bottom. It's made me wake up too many times during the night. So there we go. Alrighty, boys and girls. It's been about 5 hours since I started re-digging this hole, because I second-guessed myself, thinking there was something down at the bottom. And I think it's the last time I'm going to second-guess myself until I do it again, hopefully way down the road. Because I was right the first time. There's nothing down there. Worse than nothing. I get down about 6 foot deep, and look what comes up. The Kiss of Death, a 1930s fruit jar, or mayonnaise jar, or I don't know what it is, because 30s aren't my thing. Not 1930s. You know, and what's really bizarre is right in the top foot of this hole, I dig up a broken McMunn's elixir of opium Ponald. That's what's been spurring me on from the beginning, with a smattering of 1910-ish, you know, late tool-top stuff to early machine-made stuff into the early 20s, right up in the top couple of feet, and then below that, nothing. Coal clinkers, giant conglomerates like this piece of who knows what. I can't even venture a guess. It's like melted metal on coal. I don't know. And the only reason I'm videoing this is to remind myself, not all holes are chock full of $1-million bottles or Ponald bottles or any bottles, you know. Yeah, it's pretty unusual though to actually find a use layer down at the bottom and one broken jar top, and that's it. And no age. No age below 2 feet. You know. Okay, so I'll be back in the morning to play around with the edges. For why, I don't know. Maybe there's something back up in these edges here that I missed the first go around that's old. But other than that, I'm so done with this. This has been horrible. 5 hours of grueling digging, and that was it. Well, alrighty, this is to follow up on the dig at Matt's house. A number of machine-made junkers came out. This is that one that I couldn't read in the field without my glasses. And once I got home, got it cleaned up and my glasses on my face, I could understand why. For one, there's this kind of a weird thing, almost looks like Chinese writing. But then when you turn it sideways, you can barely make out a figure that is supposed to represent a shepherd with a shepherd's crook in his hand. And I can't remember if he's standing or sitting or squatting, whatever he's doing. He's out in the field with his sheep, presumably. And then the product is Shepherd Baking Powder Company. Problem is, they misspelled baking. It's Baknig, B-A-K-N-I-G. They reversed the N and the I. Shepherd's Baknig Powder Company. And I'm assuming this is an extract, like I was joking. And that was a joke, by the way, in the field. If it was a powder, how did they get it in there efficiently and quickly? Out of St. Louis, Missouri, and it's in Johnny's book, but it's not misspelled. So that's another thing to keep your eye out for, are bottles that have a slight problem with their spelling or their mold maker. Baknig powder. I kept looking at it going, what the heck? Shepherd, what? Clearly it's B-A-K-N-I-G Powder Company. Anyway, tool top, only thing worth keeping out of the hole, but it resides in my collection of misspelled bottles. So there you go. Just a cool little side note. And I forgot completely, but at the very end of that dig, I got down deep enough or back far enough into the bank where I hit the wall, and guess what? The wall had a clay pipe punched into it, indicating that it was used as a automatic flush, which, if used correctly and as intended, you don't throw trash into those, otherwise they'll clog up the drain on the other end of the bottom of the privy, defeating the purpose of having rainwater flowing into it from your roof. So that it kind of explained why there were no bottles until they finally got indoor plumbing and filled it all in the early 1900s. So this was actually probably a late throw. It was like, oh yeah, that old extract, I think it's pretty crusty, it ought to go. Throw it away. Throw it in the old outhouse hole. So, yeah, another one of those automatic flush toilets. I think I've come across 2 of them now in this town, which was always a surprise. I don't know why. You would think that they would have been more popular, but I guess people were pretty used to throwing trash in their privies. They didn't like to be encumbered. It's like, no, can't tell me what to do with my crapper. I'm throwing trash in it, whether you like it or not. Yeah, I can just hear that argument over dinner. Alrighty, here we are at a demo site, just off of the corner of 4th and... what the hell is this? Well, it's by the alley near Broadway, between Broadway and Oak, I think, or Spring. There's a sign, I can't read it from here. The sign is right underneath there somewhere. Anyway, matters not. I know where I am. Doesn't matter if you do. Anyway, the old map shows a couple of privies back here. Hopefully we'll find them. Yeah, well, after a couple hours of digging, we are now down about 5 feet. Still haven't hit quite bottom yet, although I think I'm getting close. And we've got shards. We got bottles galore. We got dogs a snoozing. Yeah. Bottles galore. All kinds of bottles here. Must have a pile of 100 bottles. Too bad somebody isn't digging with me. Oh well. Well, I don't know how long I've been digging, but you never get a photo up like this not very often anyway. It's one of those that's like, you know damn well it's not going to be all there. I've tried sticking my screwdriver gently. And of course there's got to be a big brick right under the lip. I remember my lesson from before when I broke a beautiful pickle jar trying to wiggle it out of the muck. I'm going to avoid doing that as much as possible on this one. Because this one really looks nice. And it is in there. I mean, it is solid. But I got the feeling, there's got to be something missing here. Ooh. But it's mainly because it's so freaking big. This thing feels like it's a half gallon. Ugh. And it is so solid in there. It's probably 13 inches long and missing the bottom. Oh! Damn it! Did I do it again? Good Lord. I heard it crack. It's hard clay too, god damn it. Oh, shit. Alright, time to turn it off.